People of the internet, welcome back to another segment of Downtime. As always, the likes, the comments, the subscribes are all greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the support on this channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into today's topic, folks. We're talking about Katt Williams, man. And to be completely honest, I really wasn't going to do a reaction to this video, man, or the reaction to this viral interview that Katt Williams did, of course, with Shannon Sharpe maybe a few days ago. Looks like currently at the time of recording this video, that interview now sits at 35 million views as of 5 days ago when it was originally launched. Honestly, folks, I really wasn't going to do a reaction to this video or to this interview, I should say, because I didn't really see the take-home value, right? Of course, on this channel, I like to talk about philosophy, self-improvement, and of course, the culture. Now, of course, this interview was indeed culturally relevant in terms of course, just how viral it went, the feedback, the responses that people had, of course, once it was, actually made public. But honestly, it's like a lot of the topics that I like to cover on this channel are things that you, the viewer, can have some take-home value on. To be completely honest, I don't really see what one could gain from the Katt Williams interview. However, if anything, of course, we're just going to go ahead and dive right in, man. This is my take on the whole fiasco, right? Katt Williams, quick backstory. Of course, if you're not familiar, Katt Williams, of course, is a famous American comedian. Put in his work in this game, man. Famous for movies, Friday After Next, a whole bunch of other movies. The list is long. Very funny guy. I think he is funny, and I would consider myself a fan of his stand-up and things of that nature. Shannon Sharpe, of course, retired NFL player. Whatever the case is. So, Katt Williams, if you don't know, quick rundown, goes on an interview with Shannon Sharpe, airs out his grievances in terms of just the industry, Hollywood, other comedians, this, that, and the other, yada, 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 yada. Of course, if you haven't seen it, of course, I'll leave the link below. You can definitely check out the 2-hour and 46-minute video if you'd like. Me, however, of course, I didn't watch this interview, to be completely honest. Yeah, of course, I saw the clips. Of course, the clips were unavoidable. If you're tapped into certain scenes, what are the cases, and of course, you probably saw at least one of these clips come up on your timeline. As I mentioned, folks, I didn't really intend on speaking on it, but the only take-home value I think anybody would watch, of course, again, because of course it's all entertainment, right? So you can chalk this up as mere entertainment. Of course, I'm sure that this is a comedian, so I'm sure, of course, the interview was filled with laughs. Of course, if the clips that I saw were filled with laughs and jokes and things of that nature, although I feel like it was indeed serious in some areas as well too. The only take-home value that I feel like regular civilians like myself and you that may be watching as well too, that I think anybody could take away from is this. One thing I'll say is that I've observed, of course, in American culture, just, entertainment, Hollywood, whatever the case is that in America, I feel like we have a problem with celebrity worship. It's just my take, right? I feel like, of course, I'm only going to speak to America. I don't know how other countries or other, parts of the world treat their celebrities and their famous people, influencers, whatever the case is. But in America, it's kind of safe to say that we hold celebrities on a high pedestal. Sometimes without merit, sometimes without reason. And I think if anything, what this Katt Williams interview did was it brought these people, of course, some of the many names that were mentioned in this video, of course, within the interview. I think if anything, it brought these people down to a human level. In this culture, what I'm noticing, folks, is that we as humans or as fans or as spectators, whatever you want to call it, man, we hold these people on high plateaus. Some of these people, you go too hard for your favorite celebrity, too hard for your favorite athlete, too hard for your favorite influencer. But do you really know these people? That's my takeaway, folks. It's like the only takeaway that I feel like a regular person could have got from watching this interview, it should have made it clear to you that we really don't know these celebrities that we look up to, whose concerts we go to, whose lyrics we recite, whose merch we purchase, whose, and I feel like it's getting out of hand at this point. Think about all the fan bases that I know, and then people, I've always seen conversations on Twitter, like who has the most toxic fan base. I think hands down, I think Beyonce and the Beehive and Taylor Swift and the Swifties. Now hear me out, folks. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of the people that, whose work you admire, whether it be in sports, entertainment, movies, music, whatever the case is. I too have people that I look up to and have really gone hard for in my past. Perfect example, I'm a huge Kanye West fan. I love Kanye West, man, of what I know of him, right? One thing that we don't really do as well, I feel like in this culture as well too, is that we don't separate art from artists, right? In whatever medium, whether it be music, film, whatever the case is, we got to remember that there's the art and then there's the artist. The art being the music, the songs, the films, the comedy specials, whatever the case is. You could be a fan of that. But the artist, do we really know the artist? I even had to catch myself, man, because again, as I said, I'm a huge Kanye West fan. A lot of the things that he has said and done over his career, I may agree with, I may not agree with. But I'm able to listen to the music. Of course, is what he is, a musical artist, fashion designer, whatever the case is. I like his clothing, whatever the case is, whatever the case is. That's all fine and dandy. But I'm not willing to die on any hill for Kanye West. And I don't think that's the standard I'm seeing a lot of people. There's people that I've seen on Twitter that were willing to die and take up any battle for their favorite artist. And my question to you is this: would that artist do the same thing for you? Does that artist that you're idolizing and worshiping and battling and getting into Twitter beefs for, do they care about you? Do they know about you? Do they hold you in the same regard? Now you'll say, of course not, man. They don't know me. I'm just a little old, whatever the case says. So that fact in itself should tell me that I should maybe hold my adoration to a minimum, in my personal opinion. Back to this Katt Williams interview, man. The only thing that you would have taken away from that is that, damn, I really don't know these celebrities. I'm not here to battle whether what he's saying is true or false, because I see people going in with their reactions. Yeah, man, I believe him. Because if you look up in this old video, yeah, Steve Harvey is just name dropping. Oh, yeah, and Kevin Hart and all the names that he named. What does that do for you as a spectator, as a regular human being? Nothing. If anything, I'm taking away for the fact that, damn, man, well, maybe this celebrity that I champion so hard and I go so hard for, and I'm willing to get in arguments and grand debates about these people, maybe I don't know how they operate behind closed doors. What if your favorite artist is an asshole behind closed doors? And I'll even throw in some, and I thought the timing with all of this was actually kind of interesting, because around the time of this Katt Williams interview was the same time that this Epstein thing came unfold of, right? We've been hearing about Epstein's list and Epstein's island. If you don't know Epstein, go ahead. I don't even know if some of these words are even safe to say here on YouTube, but some of these names and pedophilia and things of that nature. So, of course, I feel like Katt Williams exposed some names that are, more prominent in the black community, but right alongside with this interview was Epstein and his list and all these politicians and people, Hollywood stars, whatever the cases, that might be doing shady business behind closed doors. So all of that in combination told me we should chill on the celebrity worship here in America. Don't you think? We should chill on going so hard for people who may be doing things that we wouldn't approve of in their lifestyle behind closed doors. That's all I got from all of this, bro. I did not watch the full 2 hours and 46 minutes of this Katt Williams interview because it does nothing for my life. Did you get smarter from that? What did you take away from it? If you watched it, let's say, God bless your soul if you watched the entire full interview and then just enjoy the clips or whatever the case is, but teach his own. I'm not here to knock what you consider entertainment. If you watch the whole thing, kudos for you. But how did you feel when you finished watching it? What did you gain from the information that Katt Williams said? What did you learn? How did it add? What was the benefit? What was the asset to your personal life? What did it do for you now knowing that Steve Harvey and Kevin Hart may have stole some jokes back in the day? Or what did you gain from that information? And this is another thing that I say on this channel a lot as well too. We're so susceptible to the distractions, bro. It's scary in this country, bro. The things that we should really be focused on, like, God forbid, if this was 2 hours and 45 minutes of some serious shit that we should really be dissecting and focusing on, it's not going nearly as viral. 35 million views in 5 days is crazy. Why don't we have the same energy for the real things that matter in this world? Why are we not as passionate and up in an uproar and outrage and willing to die on these hills for the things that really do matter? I can see the only people I can see if you were in the industry. Let's say maybe you're an up and coming comedian. Okay, cool. This might really pertain to you a lot. Maybe you're in that industry. Maybe, Katt Williams, of course, the names that he called, maybe, of course, those are the people that could feel, emotionally invested as some of the people are. But for the regular civilians like you and I, What does this information do with your life? How did it add? What value did you gain? If you watched everything, at the end of it, you thought what? Like, damn, okay, cool. What thoughts did you gather from watching the full interview of Katt Williams airing his grievances with celebrities and people that don't know you? Celebrity worship in America is crazy, and I think again, the only takeaway I got from it is that maybe now knowing that these people might have ulterior motives or things that they're doing behind closed doors that we may or may not be aware of, maybe we shouldn't give them so much of a platform. Maybe we shouldn't be so willing to die on these hills and get into beefs with people that we really don't know. I know that's what I gathered from it, because other than that, what do you take away from it? That's all I got from it. That's the only relevant piece of information that came from this Katt Williams interview. If I again, from the clips that I saw, all I gathered was, hey, these celebrities, man, that we watch their movies, we listen to their music, we really don't know them. We really don't know how they get down behind closed doors. What if Beyonce is, I'm not going to just throw names into the cases, but you get where I'm going with this. What if Taylor Swift does things behind closed doors that you have no idea about, but you go so hard for her? You're a Swiftie. You got the merch, you got the, and again, here's the thing. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a fan. I'm a fan of a lot of people. I've gone to some concerts, I've gone to some meet and greets in my life. Yeah, cool. But I feel like even just as a man, there's only so hard I could go for another man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can only champion the name of another person, but so hard for people that I don't know. And in reality, they don't know me and maybe don't give two shits about what I got going on in my life. Be mindful of these things, folks. Be mindful of the things that are distractions, taking us away from the things that really do matter. And be mindful of these celebrities that you don't know. Katt Williams dropped a lot of names in that interview, man. And whether you believe it's true or false, that's for you. That's for the people the names that he called and Katt Williams. I'm not here to speculate if what he said about Kevin Hart and Steve Harvey, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know who stole whose jokes. I don't care, because it has nothing to do with my personal life. It makes me better in no way, shape, or form. I sleep the exact same way. Before this interview was dropped and after this interview was dropped, I sleep the same exact way. Some of you are too emotionally invested with things that do not matter. That's my takeaway, folks. What's yours? I'd love to hear it. What do you make of this Katt Williams interview that's sitting at 35 million views in 5 days? Again, I'm not here to speculate. If you care to speculate about the truths and the lies down in the comment section, go for it, man. But I don't really have a response to that because I don't know. I don't know whether it's truth or lies or whatever the case is. And yeah, people are going back and fact checking things. Oh yeah, look at this one video back in 19 when Cedric was stealing jokes. And okay, and what? Then what? Again, if you're a comedian or somebody that's industry, an up-and-coming comedian or a comedian that's currently in the industry, I can see how this could maybe, fancy pickle your interest a little bit. But for the regular civilians, what does this information do for you?